y'all want to believe that or not, people don't listen to music today to see whether it's good or not. People listen to music today for bullshit laughs and stuff like that. You understand what I'm saying? No, Young Punks, what I'm trying to say is Bump, Trippie Redd, and Uzi, they came out during the old wave. I'm not talking about anybody that blew up in the last 4 or 5 years. I'm talking about upcoming artists past the year of 2020. 2019, music died. After Pop Smoke, Juice WRLD, and all those people died, music died. Any artist that came out or tried to make music to make a name for themselves, underground artists, beyond the year of 2020, is not being taken seriously. Music changed after 2019. I'm just putting the facts out there. So if y'all naming people that have already made a name for themselves before 2019, they do not count. They've already put themselves in that realm. Whatever they've done is not going to get bigger than what they are at the very moment. I'm just being honest with you. Uzi and Trippie, wherever they are, this is where they're going. That's it. They've been in the game for 3-4 years. It's damn near 3 or 4 years. So what I'm saying about upcoming artists, there's nobody new that's going to be taken seriously in the realm of music, because everybody's trying to blow up off stupid shit in TikTok. Nobody makes genuine music anymore. And then you need more than genuine music today. What you need is a music with a movement behind it, because that's how X got his fame. You understand what I'm saying? It's not necessarily that his music was just baller. Now, his music is baller, don't get me wrong, but the reason people feel the way they do about X's music is because he had purpose behind his music. When you listen to Look At Me and you listen to the 17 album, it had movement. It had a movement behind it. What I mean by a movement, when you're able to go to shows and turn a whole crowd out, when you're able to go to the mall and start a whole revolution at the mall where the cops have to show up because they think y'all about to do something dangerous, that is a movement. We need to bring back movement music. Nobody's making movement music. And the only way you can make movement music is to talk about music in a sense, in a light where you can captivate people and make them come together. Nobody out here is doing that. Every artist, even artists y'all might fuck with that are low, mid to high, or just brushing that threshold of mainstream, all these niggas give a fuck about is their money. They don't give a fuck about the fans. They don't give a fuck about starting a movement or helping people. Even if their music helps people, they just make their music and go on about their day. At the end of the day, none of these artists will be put in the category to be great, because at the very moment, we need a movement. That's what we're missing. And nobody listens to me when I talk about these things. People come into my live and they disappear and go off and do the same shit every day, watching TikTok reels, watching Instagram reels, and all this other shit. But it's going over people's head is what I'm talking about. But then they wonder why they can't find no good music. It ain't for long before all your favorite artists, there's no more songs to leak. There's no more music to come out. It's gonna die, because anybody that y'all listen to right now, whether y'all trying to gatekeep Juice WRLD, gatekeep Trippie Redd, gatekeep all these people, it's gonna come a time where it's all gonna die out, and y'all are gonna be looking for somebody new. Anybody remember the time when they were probably like 10 or 11 or maybe 6 or 7 when Drake was the only person in the industry running things? Y'all gotta understand something here. We're in a crisis right now with music where there's a lot of good underground artists out there, but what's happening right now is the label, and fuck the label, the listeners, y'all, the collective listeners of music are gatekeeping everything. And what I mean by gatekeeping, y'all hear new artists come out. Oh, this artist sound like this artist, when they don't. You understand what I'm saying? So once you try to put an artist in a bubble, it doesn't give them room to grow. When that artist might have a potential to be better than anybody that y'all have listened to. But when you gatekeep an artist, gatekeeping music is about the most toxic and terrible thing you can do in any genre of music. And the only genre of music we do it in is this current day and age of hip hop and melodic rap, rock, whatever you want to call it. Because every other genre of music, when y'all think about country singers or rock singers, all of them have taken influences down from the next man of years and years and years. But when they see another artist that have incorporated some style of an artist they used to listen to 5 years ago, but they've made it sound better, you don't see them saying, oh, we're going to gatekeep this artist from getting to this place because he sounds like this person. No, they give them a chance. They open them up because other genres of music actually support their artists. The difference between hip-hop artists, everything has become so saturated. And I will agree that everybody is saturated, but there are select few gems in the underground scene that have a completely different sound and is doing completely different shit with music that has ever been done before in the last 5 years. But you know they will never come to the light because we got people like y'all, people that listen to the music that gatekeep. When you hear artists, the first thing you're trying to do is figure out who that artist sound like, instead of opening up and listening to that artist and giving that artist a chance to really expand your brain, expand your listening realm. And if y'all don't do that, we will be stuck in the same place we're in forever. And if y'all want to sit up here and keep reminiscing on the past and not getting over the past, it's never going to change. You said Jack Harlow Tim's didn't just come out, but she started getting more exposure, came up off TikTok, IG. Okay, I don't know. Jack Harlow fell off. Like, what's going on with Jack Harlow? Who's out here? What I'm saying is this. There's a difference between getting fame, right? And having a successful career. Jack Harlow has a successful career. I believe that he's going to be in the game, in the business for a long time because of the connections and the type of person he is. But when it comes to his music, when it comes to these people's music, are they really captivating fans to say, oh my God, I cannot wait until the next Jack Harlow album comes out. Jack Harlow is one of my top 5 favorite artists. He saved my life. Jack Harlow ain't out here trying to start no movement. All these niggas care about is their money, bro, and a little bit of clout that they have to go on to the next. Jack Harlow probably finna be making movies in the next year or two. If he haven't already, that nigga don't give a fuck about no music. He don't give a fuck about no music. Y'all gotta understand. These people that have come up off TikTok, they're not music gurus. They don't give a fuck about the shit that they're putting out. They're just putting out the next thing that can get them the next top music video, the most viewership, and whatever else comes with that. You don't see Jack Harlow going live. You don't see Jack Harlow going live on Instagram talking about how much he loves his fans and he wants to give them music. Nobody does that. And the people that are trying to do it, y'all got to understand that we are going to be stuck where we are right now. Everybody complaining about the state of music, it's on y'all. Unless y'all open up, and when I say y'all, I mean the YouTube community. I'm talking about them too. They play a major role. Major role. Think about interviews today. When's the last time y'all seen No Jumper do an interview with an artist that has the potential to be great, like he did with X? What pissed me off about No Jumper, I used to feel for him, but all these interviewers and these reaction pages and these music pages that are complaining about the state of music, doing all these videos about how artists are falling off or whatever, yada yada whatever, right? I'm gonna use No Jumper as a perfect example, because 4 years ago he interviewed X when he was basically at the realm that I'm in right now. Think about what I'm saying. Look at me hit 1 million streams on SoundCloud. I got more than 1 million streams on multiple songs. The nigga was buzzing before he really popped. And No Jumper, Adam 22, brought that nigga and his crew in. And all of those niggas that was in that interview 4 years ago have blue checks on Instagram, have made a name for themselves on a widespread level. And him doing that interview with X opened him up as a platform as well. And I feel like he forget where he came from and what started his wave. Because he was known for not interviewing porn stars and all these fuckboys on his podcast anymore. But he was known for genuinely tapping into the underground scene and getting people on a wider scale of audience to tap into these artists for real, understand who these artists are. Adam 22 don't interview an artist unless they have gotten the Yeats level right now. You understand what I'm saying? Unless you've already made a name for yourself to a massive degree, these reaction pages, these YouTube pages, these interview pages, they're not going to talk to you. They're not going to give you a chance. You know why? Because they've lost their way. It's all fake. It's all for clicks and views now. It's always been a business, but it's turned more into more of a business that has no fruitfulness behind it, no purpose behind it anymore. So he's out here making money. Adam 22, I don't think he's a culture vulture at all. I think he's lost his way. Adam 22 has gotten a name for himself and forgotten what brought so much light to his page before he was out there selling bikes or whatever he was doing out in LA. And he was interviewing underground rappers. He was giving rappers a platform to talk about themselves and talk about what they're trying to do with themselves in music. And that opened up an entire wave and movement when the SoundCloud era came around. I just think people are starting to forget where all of this shit started from. And then you got these bullshit reaction pages that listen to music now and they don't take it seriously. They don't even tap in long enough to really hear. Somebody sends them a review for a song because somebody submitted $15, $20, and it's crazy because I've watched it, right? You will have a big page, really listen to a song, right? And they don't give a genuine reaction. They just give a base reaction that they've been practicing for years because of the viewership that they got. So they can keep making that ad revenue, so they can keep getting more followers, so they can keep getting more subscribers. Whether that person has 1 million subscribers on YouTube or not, or whether that person has 1 million followers on Instagram, I'm talking about the artist right now. I miss the times where people would actually listen to music based on whether they like it or not whether this nigga has a following. When you look up on YouTube niggas reacting to Yeat, it's not because they like Yeat's music, it's because Yeat is buzzing. Yeat has a name for himself, and not just an underground name. He has a mainstream name now, and niggas are only reacting to niggas that have a mainstream name because they know that's the only shit that is gonna bring them viewership. It's all fake. Nobody makes genuine content anymore. Nobody does anything from a genuine standpoint anymore. And if y'all don't believe me, go look them up. What underground artist or any music genuinely have you seen your favorite YouTuber, your favorite reaction YouTuber page, any of these YouTube blog pages post without getting paid for it, or post without that nigga that they're promoting having some kind of buzz already? You understand what I'm saying? It's all fake. Everything is fake today. But that's why we are where we are today. Not because we don't have... If y'all gonna sit up here and say there's not people out here that have the potential to be better than XXX and Tentacion or better than Juice WRLD, y'all are fucking crazy as fuck. To be honest, those people touch the surface of music. Y'all have no clue what's sitting out there. But y'all are gonna gatekeep it to the ends of the earth because y'all won't allow anybody to get past y'all little fanboy realm. There are people out there. And you know who even said it to himself before he passed away? Juice WRLD did. Juice WRLD. What kills me about the Juice WRLD community, X community, and all these other artists, right? And the reason I say they gatekeep, right? All these artists have said it themselves out of their own mouth. Yo, I want somebody to come around and do more than what I'm doing. Do better than what I've done. You understand what I'm saying? Juice WRLD, X said this. All the people that y'all look up to, the so-called greats, they know that it would be somebody to come and do better than what they've done. They said it out of their own mouths. But you got people here that are so hurt that just can't let go of the past to allow themselves to move forward to a better future. Forward to a better future. The labels see it as well. They're scrambling. They're signing robots. They're signing AI artists. There is no more artists out here to bring. The labels are killing their artists. The labels are cash grabbing whatever the fuck they can because there's not much out here to work with anymore. Everybody's dying. Nobody's making real, genuine music anymore. And everybody's on TikTok. So what are we going to do? Are we going to really open our eyes to see the bigger picture here? Are we going to continue to stay in the matrix and then hope for things to change? Because it's not. I'm about the only one preaching this shit right now. And there's other artists that are in my realm that are good as fuck at music that feel what I feel, but they aren't able to express it. Because it's y'all that won't allow things to get to that next level. You understand what I'm saying? I get DMs all the time of people sending me stuff like, oh, I can't wait for you to blow up, bro. You're criminally slept on. Why do you think that is? Y'all think X blew up because of a fucking label? Y'all just wait magically for me to blow up? I don't blow up out of thin air. It's the people. The people do it. If somebody really wanted me to get somewhere, we would come together as a collective and make that shit happen. And I definitely got a lot more work to put in, but see, what y'all missing, the point that I'm trying to make is this. X didn't just get signed to a label when he hit 1 million streams and garnered the fan base he did. X started a movement which garnered a lot of people on his wave that forced the label, that forced everybody in the industry to listen. It's not that they wanted them there. Y'all know how many people didn't like XXXTentacion? They wanted him blackballed so bad, but they couldn't because he was just too powerful in the movement that he started. And it wasn't no label. It wasn't no industry plant bullshit. It was genuine fan base. And y'all have the power to take this shit back over and say, fuck the label, fuck the music industry. Put who y'all want to put on top. You said he got also into much trouble. You're right. He did. But he did start something. And I'm trying to take a different route. It seems that people only genuinely fuck with violence. They fuck with ignorance. And that's the only thing that garners attention today. I'm preaching from a stand. I've always preached since the beginning of my career. Have preached from a standpoint of positivity and trying to better myself. I'm not trying to do all these antics and all this bullshit to get a name and then slow down and try to preach positivity. Is hypocritical. It's narcissistic. It's stupid. I believe whatever you start with is what you finish with. And that ultimately has been the case for every artist that's passed away. XXXTentacion started with a bunch of bullshit, a bunch of drama, and a bunch of violence. At the end of the day, whether you like it or not, the shit caught up with him. He got shot in the fucking neck. I love him to death. I'm not trying to talk down on his name or nothing. But I put a quote on my Twitter about this shit a long time ago. Whatever you start with in this life, in this realm that you're in, is going to be your end. Juice WRLD, very positive and fruitful end with. Same thing. What you start with will ultimately be your piece or your end. And for all of these other artists, it was their end. PNB Rock, another prime example. A nigga that felt like he could not be touched. I'm so sick of all these artists thinking they can just go out with hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of jewelry on them, thinking that they will never be touched, that nobody will ever be so down bad to the point where they don't give a fuck about themselves to end you. People, y'all gotta understand, ego is the devil. You cannot walk around like you're invincible. Whatever you start with will ultimately be your end. It's just as clear as day as that. If y'all not understanding what I'm saying, I'm giving all the prime examples of what happened to people that let themselves get caught up with their past. Get caught up with the stuff that they started with. Everything that I started with was pure, genuine positivity. Pure, genuine trying to bring people up, trying to bring myself up. Karma taps into the realm of what you start with. It's cause and effect, bro. That's all I'm saying. I've been preaching this shit since day one. It just seems like people don't want to listen. That's all I'm trying to say. Whatever you start with ultimately is going to end up being your peace or your demise, bro. That's all I'm saying. I have started with the same message that I'm preaching now about starting a movement, wanting to help people, bringing people out of their low states and trying to be more transparent with themselves. I'm trying to start a whole new wave beyond what anybody else has done. XXXTentacion, Juice, and the whole SoundCloud wave, what they did, they opened up the realm of not being alone in your shit. They made people not feel alone in their bullshit. That's not what I'm trying to do. My music is not to help people to feel alone. That's what y'all got X and Juice and all them niggas for. They started the whole wave of not feeling alone in yourself. All right, we all know that everybody's depressed. We all know that everybody's struggling now. We have opened that realm up now. We don't feel scared to talk about it anymore because everybody's going through the same shit. Okay, now what's the next step? All right, the next step is being transparent with yourself. I want to start the next wave. I want to call it transparency. I want to call it personal transparency. And what I mean by that is really captivating yourself and saying, hey, I need to figure myself out. That is the only way I'm going to be able to move forward and be a better individual for myself in life. My music touch on transparency. It's raw. Opening up to yourself. Fuck everybody else down. We all know that everybody else can relate to each other. Okay, cool. It's a beautiful feeling. We're beyond that now. Now we're on the wave of how we're going to get better from it. Nobody is trying to do that for anybody except for me. We're all struggling. We got to try to get better from it. So that is the next wave. That is what I'm trying to start. That is what's going to help people. That's what's going to help people. That is the next wave. It's called the transparent movement. That's what I want to call it. 100%. And there's people that have been following me since 2020, since I started this bullshit, that know that I have been preaching the same message since I started. It's been the same shit. Same shit. Same goddamn shit. Same shit. And I just need y'all to understand why this is important for the future. It's very important.